Well, there is a couple things. I don't want to speed past them. Go check out Team Madman on IG. It's dope. It has some awesome content on there. But you put on there a couple times, and I'm sure that you got the most response to two things that I want to talk about. And this is straight up old school in-doc stuff. So the first thing I want to talk about is Black Thursday. So Black Thursday, just the word.
Scared right now. He's shaking.
Just the word. I'm telling you, hey, if you say Black Thursday around a certain group of people, I start stretching in my head right now. I was just like, I gotta get ready for this thing.
I'm already slowing my heart rate down right now.
I'm already slowing my heart rate. I'm just like, listen, Aaron, you're gonna get through this. So what for the kids out there, Uncle AT, what is Black Thursday?
Scary day.
It was so scary. I'm doing like the President Joe Biden thing.
I think it was like
Black Thursday, terrifying.
Weeks 4, 5, and 6, maybe in it's a 10-week course. It was
you
after
could never tell. Yep.
The hell week. You never knew when it was. It wasn't the first couple weeks, but
Nope.
you had some weeks under your belt. You had some water time in your system already before you did this. And it was a gut check. It was 3 of them. The first one was a BDU day, I think, or a BC day, one or the other.
Yep.
Right.
And then the second one was the BDU or the BC. The third one was the BDU BC day. So what is it now? Your OCPs. It's your friggin' uniform.
Yeah.
And your BC. And your booties, by the way. So
and your booties, by the way.
Just put on a top and go in the pool and try to do a 25-meter underwater. Now put all that crap on, and you are just a bag of drag. And
it was the instructors were always bringing that. The instructors were bringing that energy too. The second that you got there on a Thursday, it was the volume was already up. It was like we had morning pool sessions during mine, and you would show up on Thursdays, and it would already be loud. Like, I'm not a morning person, and you get off that bus, and they'd be like, put on the full uniform, and you'd be like, oh, God, no.
I'm going to name drop some people here because
get it.
Billy White and, oh, gosh, who was maybe it was Dave Swan. Dude, they roll over in the big blue Steely, and they're, like, pull right up in the grass, and of course I did this later as an instructor too. I'm like, I want to do that.
Nice.
And they've got
good instructor move. No parking space, just right on the grass.
Yeah, right next to the Skylark. Metallica's blasting, blowing out the cheap Air Force speakers in this thing, and Billy White walks in. He's like, I've been flicking myself in the nuts the whole way over here. I'm just fucking amped up. And it's immediately like he just starts
ridiculous thing. What a ridiculous thing to say.
He's like an 06 now, right?
Yes, Colonel Wright's actually retired. We can tell this story because
he's still active duty right now, but he's on his way out. But the best part about that is you tell that story and folks that don't know him are like, oh, okay, that's pretty funny. If you know him though, it's like it's not. You can just see it and it's even more funny.
True.
Oh my God!
True. I'm not making this up, dude. The guy is.
He's nuts.
He was
absolute madman.
He's super competitive, and when I got to the 2-3, he actually came there from NDOC. He back to the teams, and you only got to beat him at one thing one time, and you got him. Like I think I beat him on a ruck run, and he was like, "Redo tomorrow." I was like, "Man, no, I got jiu-jitsu or something, man." He's like, "No, redo." I was like, "Nah, maybe next month." He would just be under his skin. So a really competitive guy.
Fantastic.
He would kick your gear. Him, Dave Swan. I'm trying to think of the other instructor there at the time. Craig Showers was the. Ross Kilbride's been there for millennium.
He's still there. I just saw him 2 days ago.
Yeah, you can't narrow it down. Like, hey, it was when Ross Kilbride was there. Oh, do you mean like for all of modern history?
Oh yeah, I found his name. He was my proctor. So I found my old shirt with we'd get a shirt in class. It's
he
Ross
was my proctor
Kilbride.
too.
Yeah. We brought him back when he was already 90. I mean, Jesus. But, he's still a freaking stud. So.
I can't wait. Yeah, he listens to this occasionally, him and Capo. Like I said,
So Capo was on team with, so Capo was my team leader, and he'd be like, hey, Big A, like, Capo, what's up right now? Awesome, dude. So love that cat. I just talked to him the other day. He's always like, every time I talk to him, he's giving Top Gun references. So
fantastic. It's a Navy movie, Capo. Grow up, Peter Pan. How dare you?
So Black Thursdays, man. For those of you, cone wannabes out there, and that's the reason you guys follow One's Ready, man. That is a legendary pool session. sessions.
It was always so bad too. It was so bad, and I just remember like Black Thursdays just evolved. Like there were no rules. It was like the instructors would make some half-ass attempt at actually running like a normal pool session. They'd be like, "All right, line up," and then somebody somebody would screw a count up or somebody would do something, and it just went straight to hell. They were like, "You know what? You guys don't want to count up to sevens in order for us to do underwaters. Just count off by twos." And everybody was just like, "Oh no!
But
Why do we need to count off by twos? We don't need to count off by twos, do we?"
The thing about Black Thursdays, though, is that like so you're throwing all that stuff on, right? But the timelines and the standards didn't change. So if you're slick and you're doing underwaters at a minute 30 pace, you're going to do it at a minute 30 pace and everything. BC, booties, uniform, and.
Dude, there was some severe gamesmanship though. I mean, you had people that would have nightmares. They couldn't sleep the night before, like Wednesday night. They were thinking about it.
100%.
They would not eat. People would not go to lunch, like especially if it was like, oh, dude,
afternoon pool sessions. Nope, no one's eating lunch.
No one's eating on a Black Thursday. It was like literally people had nightmares. When I said
I'll eat a dinner, homie.
Peaches was shaken. I mean it. There's a ginger PJ, not Coley Pepper, but another one out there, and I think he's actually out now. He's like living in the mountains, all bearded. This guy, and he ended up being a stud, like PJ of the year and stuff later on. But he sewed down his pockets, cut out like his cargo pockets, sewed down, and Scotch guarded his BDUs, so like water would kind of repel from it. He had like the ankles like tailored in, and of course everybody had the booty straps to hold the booties on. Like anything that give you an edge, like like shaving his whole body of hair, like a Olympic swimmer, anything because of fear of Black Thursday and that extra drag.
And did it help? No, but it made it feel like it helped. It gave you that mental edge. Like, and by the way, the gamesmanship, and it plays in perfectly to what I want to talk about next, because I have my own story of gamesmanship that I'm pretty proud of. But ETD, so the extended training day, or Hell Night or Hell Week or whatever, it was remarkably different back then. So just tell us a little bit about ETD.
Yeah, so I mean, coming back as an instructor, so I had all these visions of grandeur, of, like I'm gonna make NDOC great again, and it is. NDOC had already changed when I got back. I mean right. This is something that I think the Air Force made a big foul. Before I answer your question here, man, when they split all of us when we were together. So Peaches and I, part of that old school, like we were together at NDOC. You saw that on the teams. You saw the reflection. I think it happened 2003-ish when you started getting guys who went to, at that time, the CCS and whatever it was, or CC, whatever the heck it was. Ben Hubbard.
CCSC, so combat control, orientation course,
over by the little Magina Annex gym. Yeah. Right. So there was already that kind of like us and them, the old school versus the new school in the teams. Like you would see that, like you'd come into Silver Blue, when they were colored teams back then. The guys were already kind of holding that over each other. So it just sucked because when we went through it together, there was no PJCC like T. I mean, you guys had shit going down at the Triangle, down at Keesler, but we pretty much everybody had the same clout, And then when it separated, it kind of created this whole weird world. But so I go back, and I'm an instructor now, and I kind of want to hold that standard, right? Standards and norms. We want to make sure we hold those.
There we go.
But,
right.
Right. See,
great reference. Great reference. No, it's good. I like it.
I saw that in an email recently or something. So.
Peach's heart rate is now at 210. Like you keep giving him some time off. Like he just woke up. He doesn't want to have to deal with this at 7:00 in the morning. Give the guy a break.
For those of you who don't know, so what was Hell Week kind of morphed into the ETD, and it's a day. It ends up being like 2.5 days, just because of the way it happens. We always hit you in the middle of the night. So you never had any sleep, and pretty much, I've had the bullhorn is like. That's like, it gives you your power. It's kind of like the knife hand. You have the bullhorn. That's where your source of power comes from when you're going through like the cone dorm, and you're just like, get up, too slow.
Get up, right? Get up. Oh, I didn't wake you, did I? Get your gear on. You have 37 seconds to get all of your gear out front. Oh, you want to be a cone? Name every single knot.
Yeah.